well. You didn't expect that, did you?
Can you hear me all right?
That was a bit random, wasn't it?
It was a bit.
But guess what? It doesn't matter, does it? We just, we just crack on and. But yeah.
A little bit of unscheduled.
I know we like doing these unscheduled things every now and again, don't we? And it's now 9:30 on a Friday evening, and we've just finished a podcast, and I felt like I wanted to chat a little bit more. So Karen and I are doing well.
I don't know what I'm doing. My camera, I think it's going everywhere. Jess says evening. Jess, just don't talk to me now. I love her really. Hello, lovely ladies. I have no idea who that is, but they're obviously been drinking.
Karen. Hello, lovely Melanie. Hello, lovely Melanie. She won the Haunted House tickets from our Festival of the Unexplained.
Oh yeah, she did. That's right. I forgot about that. Jess is just laughing at me. I'm not sure who. If you're commenting, you click on StreamYard.com Facebook that's at the top in blue writing so we know who you are, please. It's Rob the Goat. Oh, hello, Rob.
It's who?
It's Rob from the Ghost Finders.
If you just
laughing at me because I got all excited because it was Rob,
and you don't know who it is, and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Well, this is an off the cuff kind of evening, isn't it? It's Friday night. Everybody that I've spoken to has had an absolute crappy week this week.
Yeah.
And we just felt like, let's just come on and just see what we could talk about. And we are going to talk about faking photographs and faking evidence. And we're just going to have a general chit chat, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
So we all know that fakery happens. Now, what would you do, Karen, if you caught somebody faking evidence on one of your investigations?
I would not be happy. Would not be impressed in the slightest. They would, if it was a member of our team, they'd be in serious trouble. Not only would they be in serious trouble, they would get their marching orders end off. Quite simple. If nothing's happening, nothing's happening. At the end of the day, spirits are not robots. You can't flick a switch and make them work and make them do something. If nothing's happening, nothing's happening. End of. Don't ever think or even let it enter your mind about faking something. I guess that's Rob. I think they were a Trump supporter.
Rob comes up with some really random stuff, though, doesn't he? He's an Englishman. You're an alien, you in America, Rob. Anyway.
Yeah, Rob. He is, isn't he? Because obviously, hi Matt from Matt Paranormal.
Oh.
Dave.
But to be honest with you, I don't think any of the team would fake anything, and I think the consensus around fakery and things like that is people's perception, don't you think?
Yes, I do, yeah.
So perception of people. Well, I was just talking to the Pursuit of the Paranormal guys earlier, and they actually posted out a picture of a plane, and 100,000 people have actually looked at this picture, and it was on a certain shutter speed. I think it was a 3-second shutter speed. And the amount of people that said that it was not a plane was unbelievable. And they're actually chatting about it as we speak. And it's kind of one of them things that you think, could it happen? What if we took a picture of a full-blown, full-bodied apparition? What would happen? Would we be called fakers? Would we have our, heads rolled over the coals for it?
Well, exactly. What are your opinions, guys? Please tell us what your opinions are. We've basically stolen Gary's open mic and decided that we'd have a girls' open mic. Hi, Heather. Heather's in the comments. She is from Stay Spooky Chicks and Spirits, which is a new show which will be joining us in March.
Oh, fantastic. Well done, Heather.
So Heather and Callista and Kelly will be joining the Keep On Chatting family. Hi, Mike. How are you? Hope you're well.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, like I said, if anyone wants to come on and join us for a chat, let us know in the comments and I will send you the link and you can join us on screen. Hi, Gemma. Just as I say that, look, Gemma pops up.
Yep. Bless. So the Facebook user, I don't know who this is. We've been criticized for having video and audio findings that are too good, so you can't win. We all have, you know, I captured a full-blown, full-bodied apparition of a guard at Ruthin Jail in North Wales. And I was told that it wasn't a guard, and you could quite clearly see that it is. And EVPs as well. And, you know, 13 people sat around a table, and you clearly hear it on the spirit box when you've asked a question and they're answering you with intelligent answers. And it makes me wonder what actually goes through people's minds when they're actually reviewing people's evidence and their footage and things like that. I find it, you know, if it's not compelling, then I don't know what I want to say about that, to be honest.
Rob, if you want to come online, if you want to come on live and join us and let us know.
Right. But I think with, you know, with all photographs, we're not in that place at that time, are we, really? We're not in that space or time, and we cannot comment on other people's findings. But we also can't comment on people's experiences. Everybody has their own experiences at the same time. And yeah, Gary says the pic of the gentleman that I picked up on at Drakelow Tunnels with the overalls during the filming of a TV show, you know, you could never have written that. Never. And that photograph was not faked. And I know that for a fact because I saw him as clear as day.
Yeah, Matt's just got a good point. It's a bit like an SLS camera too. Tracking on them is so sketchy and can give false results. Yeah, it's true. They can give false results.
Well, infrared, we all know infrared picks up, you know, dust particles, and people think that they're orbs.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt, if you want to come on and you want to chat to us about anything, any captures you've had which have been disregarded or anything else, then just let us know in the comments and I will send you the link over. Totally off subject, everyone, but I've just read something which is some good news for our friend George Shoplin. He put a post out today. Unfortunately, after 19 years of being cancer free, he was re-diagnosed with cancer. And he's been for surgery today, and I've just been notified that he is home and recovering, and the doctor has got all the cancer out.
That's amazing. Get well soon, George.
So George Shoplin and Cara, we love you guys. We mean that. You are absolutely wonderful people. George is the most positive man I've probably ever met in my entire life. He just glows with enthusiasm and positivity. He's just fantastic. I just love him to bits. I just wish he lived in the UK, not USA. So just continue to send your healing to George and to Cara, because, you know, they're going through this as a couple. So send your healing to George and Cara, send your white light, send your prayers to them both. Because obviously he's got his recovery and everything now too. So yeah, that's fantastic news. I'm so pleased that that's literally just come through now, because I have been thinking about him. So yeah, so all of our love from Keep On Chatting and Festival of the Unexplained to the lovely George and Cara Shoplin. So that's just fantastic news to hear. Sorry, Joe. So I was all excited because I saw the message come up and I was like, "Oh, I got to tell everyone," because I've been sat there thinking, "I wonder how he's getting on. I wonder if his surgery's finished yet," because he didn't know how long it was going to be for. So that's fantastic that that's just come through now. So pleased.
Oh. Yeah, and it is lovely that everybody is, everybody's behind him as well, especially in like the Pun TV crew, and we are just all so happy that he's all right. So Gary needs the link to.
He's got the link. He just doesn't read his messages.
He's been on the sweeties though, hasn't he? That sounds really bad.
So yeah, that does sound really bad. Ready when you are, ladies. Then Gary comes in now and takes over. No, you weren't ready. Let me just resend this to Mr. Fields. Okay. Yeah, anyone else? We can have up to 10 people on screen at once. So anybody else wants to come on, share their experiences. Matt from Matt Paranormal, Rob, the lovely Rob Thompson. I know you're probably busy, or Mike. Anybody. And he even adds himself to the stream. What's that all about?
Sorry. Good day.
Is that the Japan family house? Look. Have you
a beer? Gary, that's so unprofessional.
I can't hear a delay going on.
Yeah. A bit of an echo. Have you got the TV on, Gary?
Oh.
He's got the sound loud on his laptop, so you can hear it echoing.
What, do you want to turn it down?
Yeah.
Or better still, just mute yourself, Gaz.
We just mute you. Bless him. Gary, I can't believe you come on alive with a glass of beer. That is so unprofessional.
Sorry, Karen.
Oh God, it's like delay.
I didn't want to say anything. Cheers, everybody. It's Friday night.
Cheers. It's Friday night. Why not?
Oh, Gemma, I bet you don't look like Death warmed up at all. Don't be daft.
She always says that. That's her get out of
as well. She always does that. But back to faking evidence, and faking photographs and things like that. So we went off topic then just for a second while we were taking the mickey out of our dad. So, but it's very strange, isn't it, when people decide that they're going to compromise their credibility within the field.
That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah, and when they've done that, they've compromised that. Is there any way that they can get that back? Now, we talk about the likes of Most Haunted, the TV show that we should never speak of. However, they were very successful back in the day, weren't they?
Yeah.
But look what happened.
Big time.
They started to fake things. They started to be entertainment purposes.
Allegedly. Yes, allegedly.
But, look what's happened. It's kind of, it compromises the credibility of everybody. And it kind of, where are we now? Everything that we all do, all of the evidence that we all collect is under so much scrutiny.
I mean, we covered this a few weeks back, didn't we? Where we said there's that many amazing people out there that's too scared to share their evidence now.
Yeah,
but it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. No.
It shouldn't be like that. It should always be that you should have the evidence, and like we were saying before, because you're not in the area at the time, you're not listening to you're not listening to the EVPs at the time or anything like that. You simply cannot comment because those are people's personal experiences.
Yeah, and I always say being there is a total. That's what you need to be. You need to get out there and experience it. So that's where people need to have their experiences and really enjoy it, and then share what they've came across as well on the night and the investigation. And there's no two nights the same, as we know. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of like when we were at Drakelow Tunnels, we'd seen that gentleman over and over and over again for God knows how long, and then all of a sudden he wasn't there, and it's kind of like, oh, where's he gone? What's happened? We all experience that, but if we actually try to document that, how are we going to document it without people saying that we faked it?
Yeah, that's the problem, though, isn't it? Is that's the issue of trying to prove something. We're all trying to do. That's the thing. That's what makes me laugh in this field a lot of the time, is the fact that we're all actually out there to try and prove the same thing. We're all out there doing the same thing. So what's the point in faking something? If, like we said, if you get something, fantastic. If you don't, then you don't. Oh wow, never mind. You might get something on the next one.
I just find it, I don't know. It's just, I think people are quite harsh, aren't they?
I mean, the way you look at it as well, everybody puts that much time, effort, and energy in. We always go about it the way we go about it, and you know, again, as you've covered, if it's a quiet night, it's a quiet night. We don't mind a quiet night, but usually 9 times out of 10, there's always something going on in and around session 1 or session 2 or different parts of the night. There's no two means the same, is there? When you're on before a break and after a break, there's always different things going on in different parts of segments of the evening as well.
But have you noticed though that sometimes we have so many people who are in the same group, but they all experience different things?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you can get 5 or 6 different experiences, even off somebody that stood 2 or 3 foot away from you, and they're experiencing another energy and an entity going on as well, or they'll see the shadows, or they'll see something move in the corner of their eyes. And that even takes us by surprise as well, because we're open to receive, but we'll always be logged on to what we're focusing on at the time, so we've had it many a time where there's been 5 or 6, 7 different interactions going on, especially some of the locations that we've been to as well. It's a lot of the places just never fail really when we go. I mean, to me, that night at Guy's Cliff in the chapel, it was just really opening up, wasn't it, that night and that evening? And
yeah,
when we were all spread across the room, we were all getting different things in different corners and segments of that night as well.
Oh, Julie Bealey Howley, what's the angry face for?
Who's that?
I'm joking. I am joking, lovely. She sent us some lovely like little hearts and everything earlier, and now there's an angry face. But anyway,
Probably didn't mean to send it.
Yeah, she's had a few good picks and never keen to share because she's worried about what people will think. But she just uses
that's the biggest thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the shaming from other people. But if you weren't there and you weren't experiencing it, just because you weren't there and it wasn't your team and you weren't part of it, doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean it's not evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Matt just sent me a couple of photos. That's why I was being rude and looking down. So I was just looking at the pictures. He just sent me a couple of photos, and he's just said to me, he said in the comments, Karen, I've sent you a couple of PM with some photos. What do you see? And I thought I could see a figure in the one picture, and it's not in the other. It's not completely crystal clear pictures, but in answer to your question, Matt, I do see a person in the one photo, but they're not in the second photo. Whether it's, I don't know, pareidolia or whatever else, I don't know, but I'd be interested to find out where the photo was taken, what you think is in the photos that you've just sent me. I've just sent you the StreamYard link, so you can actually come on and join us if you wanted to come and explain a bit more about the pictures you've just sent me.
I'm just going to backtrack as well on Angelique there. I've been out with Angelique as well, and we went to the Abbey in Leeds, and we just done a walk around, and we could see certain different images, different images up in the part of the Abbey. And a lot of pictures were taken and nothing was coming up on the pictures, but 2 or 3 people could see the shadows as actually just peering around the corner as well on an evening. But again, there was no evidence caught, but we could virtually see it with our naked eye that evening as well, which was quite interesting as well, where certain things don't show up on camera one night and then certain things show up on a camera another night as well. You know, it's quite interesting, and that's why we always say take 3, 4 or 5 pictures on top of each other, don't we?
Yeah, because the thing is, in that short space of time, you can click, and if something comes up in one and not the others, then you know, potentially it could be evidence. There's no guarantees it is, but potentially it could be.
I mean, the best piece of evidence, one of the best pieces I've ever seen, was taken by mistake, where I was at Drakelow and you could hear a gun firing and people running, and somebody thought they were going to take a few pictures and they'd hit the record button on the video on the phone, and that was an amazing capture. That came across when we was in a certain part of Drakelow one night as well, and it's just bizarre when other people pick up on that type of scenarios, and they're on different times and events from when you've been there in a different period as well.
You have that with battlefields though as well, Gary, don't you? Like the Battle of Towton, which is near to where I'm from. You know, you're supposedly supposed to see the river turning red, and it's also in like specific lights and things like that, and it's kind of like, okay, is that right? You know, but you can't say anything because it's not your experience.
Well, when I remember walking around Battlefield, and I said to our Linda at the time, I said, I'm feeling there's something really going to come across us in a minute or two. And we virtually walked round the corner, and then there was a churchyard to the left as we were walking round. And half the cemetery hasn't got any gravestones there. And then when Linda was reading the plaque, it was an open graveyard, basically, that all the mass bodies were virtually put on that site in that corner of that specific field at the time, which then become the part of the churchyard. But you just knew you was going towards all these souls, and you were going to all these energies that you were walking into. And a minute or two prior to that, you just had that gut feeling that something was going to virtually take you by us down, you know, be really outstanding. It was just that was mind blowing. That was just to come across that type of energy you knew that you was walking into and towards. So again, the intelligence of spirit and your team working with you, it was like, when our Linda read that out, I think I was just flabbergasted. I was just like, wow, I can understand now it's an open grave, but it's a mass open grave of 12,000 souls, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of mass graves though all over the place, isn't there? We've got the plague pit, and there's definitely one at Bolsover Castle, because when I went there, you could hear the screams of the people from, you know, crying from the people who've been buried in the plague pit. I can't even speak, plague pit. And it was quite harrowing, actually. It was quite an emotional time when you stood near to the old oak tree, and people who've ever been to Bolsover will know that the oak tree is just situated just before the entrance to Bolsover Castle, and it's just near the Spanish riding school, and that is probably one of my favorite places to go. It's so pretty, and even just walking around it during the day, people have had experiences there.
Just
reading some of the comments.
Yeah, Claire says my fave walks of Gary's is Chester in York, the walls and doors.
It's even on the live, you can sense a spirit energy around, and then you've got the people on the live taking photographs. You give an energy that you feel that you're drawn to, and then people that's watching will take the evidence, and it's like, that's what it's all about. They're your eyes, they're your ears as well, because there's many a time we've done a walk around and a walkabout in towns and cities, and people are capturing what your experience is of that sense of the energy in and around, and then they're getting the outlines of the images and the spirits as well, which is to tie in. It's fantastic, and they're in the daytime as well, most of them as well.
And here is Matt. Hi.
Hey, you're right.
Good evening.
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Thanks for coming and joining us. A little bit short notice, but we weren't even planning on doing this. It was just a last minute thing. Yeah, I've just looked at those photos. Now, you tell me what you saw in them.
Okay, so these photos were taken at an abandoned care home, and what I see is somebody being pushed in a wheelchair.
Okay. That's interesting, because I can definitely pick out a figure.
Mhm.
Wow, I thought I could pick out a couple of figures, but it's difficult because obviously I'm looking at the pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
So if I'd like, I actually have a proper look on the laptop or whatever, but actually looking on your phone, it's hard to.
Yeah, I get you.
So it's hard to actually look at them properly. But I can make out at least one figure on there.
Yeah.
Send it to me, Karen. I can airdrop it to my Mac and I can have a look. And we can probably share it on the screen as well if you could.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, but I can't because it's on my. I'll send them to Joe, and then we'll put them up.
Okay.
So, do you want to give us a bit more information about them?
Yeah. So it was taken randomly at an investigation we were doing at abandoned care home. We were doing a lot of like flash photography, and we noticed after we'd taken the photos that there were these two figures and someone sitting in a wheelchair with a pink blanket over their legs. And you cannot, well, while we're on investigation, we could also hear like the sounds of wheelchairs moving as well at the same time when these were taken.
Right. And who was there? Was it all of your team that was there at the time when you were doing it?
There was 4 of us there, yeah.
So, and also, as I mentioned, your team. Do you want to tell everybody about a little bit more about your team and who you are? I know who you are, and I know who your team are, and I know some of your team members. But do you want to, as you're here anyway, do you want to give your team members a shout out, let everybody know who you are, and a little bit more about your team and where you are?
Yep. Okay. So my team is Matt Paranormal, based in Wrexham.
I'm
Wrexham. Hold on, Joe. Let the man finish. Now we all know why I asked him to talk. Go on, carry on, Matt.
Yeah, it's a small world. Yeah, so we've released our first season on Amazon Prime, which was good. It was okay. We're now releasing season 2 on Paraflix, which comes out in March, which most of you probably know about.
Yep.
I'm currently still editing through the footage because with COVID and lockdown, it's been absolutely trying to get into venues and trying to get the stuff out on time. So I'm literally just taking a break now from editing to come and speak to you guys.
Well, thank you for taking a break in editing. But yeah, Matt and I have spoken before, and I've also spoken to a couple of Matt's team members before. Matt and his team did the Christmas video for us. You know, when we did our Christmas videos.
Yes.
Matt and his team did one of the videos for us.
It was a bit long, wasn't it?
How do you find the editing?
You worked together and you couldn't be together. There wasn't much you could do about it because you had to all do them separately, didn't you? And then
exactly, yeah. We're all in our own homes because we weren't actually in a bubble at that time. But now we're all in a bubble, so we can go out and investigate, obviously, at a safe manner.
And that's good, though. Whereabouts in North Wales would you say is your best place to investigate?
Well, Denby, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
You know, I've
not been. I tried to find it, but my partner took me there, but I wasn't very well because I think I had COVID back in 2019 after a certain paranormal event, and I wasn't very well, and by the time I got up the hill, I was like, I can't breathe. But yeah, Denby definitely. But Ruthin Jail, have you been there?
Haven't done that one yet. No, it's one that we are trying to hire and actually film an episode there, but obviously it's closed at the moment, isn't it?
Both very interesting locations as well.
Also, while you're in, like, if you're in the Denby area, you've got Poole Park Asylum as well.
Yeah.
It's very locked off as well, isn't it, Poole Park?
It is. There's obviously the house, the homeowner, whoever lives next door. She comes out in a car. As soon as she sees those torches, she's out. What are you doing there? What are you doing here? And
not that I'd know.
No, it's not that I know. Where else have you been? Can you disclose anywhere else you've been filming, or you plan on going filming?
Yeah, so we've just done Walton Hall, which is in Liverpool.
Judge Jeffries' old former place, which is in my top 5 of locations.
Have you been to Walton Hall?
Yeah, about 3 times.
Yeah, I'm saying because the place, well, we were there not long ago, and it is really bad there now. There's just water coming through the floorboards and everything. It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, my first time was about 5 years ago, Matt, and it was, you know, it was a cold venue, but it was well worth going, and we've had a virtually full table, about 20-foot table in the Masonic Lodge room. Had a lady in trance, and she virtually tipped that table over with one hand or 2 fingers, and it was like a 20-foot table, and she just tipped the table over as a male energy, and that was mind-blowing.
Those tables aren't light either.
No.
Wow. 30 East Drive, that's another one. It's a bit of
I'm a bit tired with that. I'm a bit tired with that because I've had some great experiences there, but on other occasions, it's been as flat as ever. It's been horrible.
I think it's overhyped. It really is.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it can get very suppressive as well, very heavy weighted. If it doesn't want you there. Yeah. Definitely. Have you
not been there?
Sorry, Karen, have you been to Plasteg, Matt?
Yeah. Plasteg was I went as an actual skeptic to Plasteg, thinking nothing was going to happen. I'd heard all the stories. We were doing a seance, and there was a heavy statue which was on a table right next to us, and it actually did move on its own. And I've got it on camera as well. Nobody was next to it, and it actually moved. Never seen anything like that before. So it was really good.
Have you been down to the kitchen area there?
We weren't allowed into that area.
Right, okay. And well, there's different rooms have different, not stories, but different history of spirits in and around it as well. Virtually I would safely say in mainly each corner of the location, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It
just seems to be different things going on in that north, south, east and west of the building as well. It seems to be a little bit quieter in the middle, but there's certainly a few rooms that's quite mind-blowing in there as well.
Wow. It's a great building, isn't it?
It certainly is. Certainly is.
Somewhere we've looked at going, isn't it? It's just trying to get in there, isn't it? The problem is. But obviously, with last year and this year, it's just one of those things because I haven't managed to get it sorted.
Yeah, and the thing is,
we'll get there.
Yeah, with Plasteg as well. They won't let you go around on your own. You have to go around with their paranormal team, and you have to pay the equivalent of 20 ticket prices, which is like 800 quid or whatever.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think a lot of places are overpriced as well, though, which is unfair, and we know.
No, I think with regards to Cornelia, though, she is trying to do her utmost to keep that building alive. You know, she's in her 70s, and you know, and as much as I don't agree with paying, you know, stupid prices for ghost hunts and things like that, I drive past there on a regular basis, and she's got scaffolding up. She's replacing all of the lead work on the towers, and you know, the work that she's done there is just simply amazing, because that property back in 1975 was going to go to rack and ruin, and she purchased it and she's nursed it back into the place that it is today. And I find that amazing that she's managed to do that.
Yeah, there was trees growing in the centre of the building and water coming all the way through. So she has, you know, she has renovated it a lot, and, you know, hats off to her, you know, fair dues. You know, she's doing really, really well. She has actually signed it over to the National Trust when she passes as well. Don't want to talk about that, but what I'm saying is that will go into the National Trust, I believe, at later dates as well. So I've been to some amazing walks around there as well. On the land, there's an interesting building and a hall over the road as well, but I can't remember the history of that. My friends used to do the guided tour around Plasteg, and they were telling me about the property was like keeping up with the Joneses at the time when that was in its heyday. There's a building over the road as well, which is another hall. So it'd be interesting to have a little look at that as well.
Did you get the pictures, Joe?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. For some reason, they said they're quite pixelated on my phone. So, like, obviously, even on the Mac, they're still quite pixelated.
Yeah, it'd be the because Facebook, for some reason, they the quality they get rid of, because obviously those pictures, they were a decent quality, but then you send through Messenger and the quality, you just lose it.
Yeah, but what I can see is I can actually see two people in this picture, and it's
one
quite,
on the left and one in the middle.
Yeah, I just want to. I'm just going to try and see if I can share the screen here. Yeah, but I don't think I can. I don't think it's going to let me, actually, to be honest with you. I think it's just going to be too much for me to do. But I don't think you'd be able to do it. There's too many screens open. So
that looks quite good then when you pop that up.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
There's somebody in the doorway there. I know I only seen a millisecond.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing is, so if I just share this, so this is what I'm actually seeing at the moment. So here, it looks like you've got a young girl who's actually stood at the side of somebody here.
Okay.
And it's okay. Somebody, right, this is really strange now, because I'm picking up on all sorts now. I'm getting people being hanged.
Isn't that a housemaid?
I've got no clue, but I've just had the vision of somebody just hanging. And this young girl here that I can see, she's obviously attending to this person here.
I feel somebody stood behind somebody as well, Joe. I don't know if you're picking up on anyone stood behind somebody.
I'm just picking up things of the general area. It's kind of like I've never been to the area where you've been, Matt, so I'm not sure of the layout.
It's in Holywell.
Okay, so I'm like literally. Okay, I walk through a main front door, and I can see in front of me what looks like a reception area, and I can see a door to the right, and I can see another door on the right, but I can see a set of stairs that go up on the left. And there's another door to the left that goes into a different area. I don't know where I am. I've got no clue where I am.
Just text what you see as well, folks.
Okay, so the photo was taken. It's on the ground level. It is just as you go into the main building. The spirit that we made contact with, her name was Irene. We've seen her, the medical records and everything, they're all still in there. So it's all untouched, and it was in the room where this was taken. So I'm not sure if it's actually her that's in the picture.
God.
It even looks like it's moving, the bottom of the picture.
There is definitely two people in that picture, though.
Definitely. I feel there's one behind the other.
And it's funny because a lot of people can say that they're seeing two people in that picture. Do you know if there was any reported suicides on site, Matt?
Not suicides, but there was like neglect, and people did die there because of that. And that's the reason why the place got closed down.
And I don't know where this is, Matt, again. Sorry. Some people are asking where this location was. I don't know whether you can disclose that or not.
Well, it's that unsafe. You can't actually get in there anymore, but it's
that's fine, yeah.
It's Altbridge Care Home, and it's in Holywell.
So the layout that I said to you, Matt, would you have known that if you could walk through there or not?
Matt,
yeah.
Is it got like a horseshoe path to it as you go around? Has it got like a horseshoe drive? Is it a long drive as you go round there? Has it got a stable yard at the back?
No, it hasn't. It's got basically it's a main care home, and then at the front of it, it's a nurse's quarter, a separate building.
Okay, it's not the one with the black and white frontage as an old care home, because I have been there off. Do you know the one I mean? No.
No, I don't actually.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry. That's all right. I'm just getting distracted with a similar one that I've been to with an old black and white frontage, and then it's been expanded onto a care home off the A55.
Oh, okay. No, this is a different one.
But it is interesting though, isn't it? To be honest, because when you look into stuff like that and you try and remote view, it's like I was transported into an area with a front door, the staircase to the left, with a door to the left, but then there was two further doors to the right with another walkway, which opened out into probably two small doors at the back.
Okay, so one half of the building, it does have stairs going up, and that's where the critical care part of the care home was, where they basically went to pass. So I'm not sure if that's the bit you could see.
Well, I don't know, because I've never been to this place, and obviously you've mentioned it, but it's kind of like that's how it would have. Do you know if there's any like pictures or anything like that remaining of the floor plan or anything like that?
Ooh, all I've got is like old postcards, and I do have I know I shouldn't have, but we've got an old videotape of the place from quite a few years back, but we haven't got a video player.
It's like Alvita saying in the old mansion.
No, it's just a normal cassette.
VHS.
Yeah.
You can get those converted nowadays.
It would be worth trying to get it done just to see the history and what it was actually like back in the day when it was a proper care home and not what it's like now.
Oh, Rachel, love her, bless her. Some of my favorite spooky people in all in one place.
That's all right. I've just sent her the link. Said she wants to come and join us, then she's more than welcome.
Have you been round Kygurley Castle and Hope through the village there, Matt, and the wall over the was it the Horseman's Bridge or something? And
yeah.
I go swimming in Hope Lake.
Another good one to do is Holt Castle as well.
Hope Castle, yeah, and Kygurley Castle. That's one of the things that I want to film next.
Yeah,
it's that castle.
Go to Holt as well. Holt Castle.
Holt.
Yeah.
Well, it's really funny because I went to the Dana prison, and it was really strange because my partner saw something in the execution room, and it was he said that it might be one of his ancestors, which was quite unnerving because apparently he shot somebody in the main street in Holt. So it's not too far. But my partner's family originate from Holt, so that's mad.
Oh, wow.
Such a small world.
I mean, somebody from Holt was hung in the Dana, weren't they?
Yes, that's him. He's called Henry Huxley or William Huxley, I think, but he has got a Huxley name, yeah.
Because he's got his name actually on the wall.
Yeah.
In the actual execution room.
And he said that's our family name, and I was like, really? But, yeah.
Have you been up to Castrol Bran Castle in Llangollen?
Yeah, I did a live stream from up there. It's a killer to get up there, though, isn't it?
I got pushed down and jarred all my knee walking down there. Actually,
Wow.
I got pushed down halfway down. See you later.
Gary, you're just old. That's your problem.
Oh, whoa. I was young then, madam.
When was it? 40 years ago.
We need to teach you how to speak Welsh as well, Gary. I'm afraid. I'm learning. But no, it's a great area. There's some great places around there. Ruthin Castle is probably one of my. Ruthin Castle is all right. We caught some amazing footage in the main haunted bedroom there when we did a weekend paranormal event. We just kept the CCTV running throughout the whole 48 hours that we were there. And I remember waking up and I shared a bed with Emily, who used to work in our team. And I shared a bed with Emily, and I remember hearing a woman talking, and she was like whispering in my ear. And I just turned round and I said to Emily, "Will you shut up?" And literally she didn't even move. And I was like, I looked at her and she was Spark. She was just like literally Sparko. And I was like, who was that? And you can hear it on the CCTV footage. But Ruthin Jail, if you get to go there, it is honestly, it's one of the most unbelievable places ever.
That's what you said to me about going, didn't you?
Oh, honestly, it's a very small place because they've locked off quite a lot of the cells on the upper floors now for the National Archives of Wales.
Yeah.
But some of the intelligence that we had in there was just second to none. And I got a full-bodied apparition picture of the guard that was in there. And I didn't realize it was a guard until the end of the night when I saw the actual uniform in the cafe area, in like the shop area. And it wasn't until the next day when I was reviewing all the footage that we'd captured, including the spirit box session in the dark cell downstairs. And I was amazed to find that this guy was stood right at the back through the glass, right at the back underneath one of the fire exit symbols. And there was like a small light as well that you could see. And he was just stood just underneath it, which would mean he was around about 6 foot tall. But you could quite clearly see him. We took a group shot, a group photograph. I wish, in fact, I'm gonna show you because it's simply unbelievable. I'm just gonna fire it across to my Mac now, and you can see it because unless you zoom in on it, it's like, wow.
I feel as well at Ruthin Jail as well, Joe. The courtyard's very busy there as well. But like the shop and where they've got the little shop, I felt that corridor was quite interesting as well at Ruthin Jail. So just standing in the corridors as well, it just seems to get a lot of spirits walking up and down as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to show you this now because obviously this picture that you can see, it's in black and white. I will show you the original picture that I took, and it is just honestly, it's mental. So this is if this is what you can see, and obviously I've zoomed in and I've had to change it to black and white so that you can actually see him. So this here is the light on the left hand side above this lady's head, and you can see where I've ringed him.
Yeah,
and you can see the hat. You can see
I was going to say she's got a hat on.
Yeah, and you can quite clearly see him. But I've had to put that in black and white. Now this, I'll show you the original picture now. And I've had to zoom in and I've had to look at it and think, am I seeing this right? Or am I literally just, am I having like...
Is it an upright hat, Joe?
Yeah, it's literally, if you, like, if I showed you this now, if I stop sharing that one and I share this one with you, this is the zoomed in version. Oh God, sorry. 2 seconds, guys.
It's allowed.
Hey, it's our show.
This is the color version of the actual picture that I took.
I can see why you did it black and white, but yeah, it's still very distinctive.
Yeah, but this is the original picture. This was what was on my iPhone when I took it. So people out there who think that iPhones aren't very good for images and things like that, you will never know what you might capture. Now this is amazing, and I could never believe that I would have captured this from an iPhone. but this is the original picture that I took.
Wow.
So from this picture, I literally scoured every person, and I was like, oh, what's this? What's this? And then I thought, that's a reflection. That's a reflection. But he's way in the background here. And when you look at, you know, when you zoom in and you actually look at it, he's stood in between there. Now, what's intelligent about that is that everybody was stood in front of there, and he picked the one spot that he knew that we would capture him.
And the stairwells at the back of that as well, Joe, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Yeah, there is stairwells at the back of it. But when you, you know, when you sit there and you look at where he is, and I mean,
and the condemned cells to the right. Yeah,
you see, and this is obviously the black and white version. And I'm just gonna show you this again so that you can actually see it, and because this is a picture that I thought to myself, actually, is that a person that's there or not? And that's when I found him, when I thought, if I put it into black and white, he is definitely stood there. And that was deemed as fake.
And definitely authoritative figure as well.
Yeah. The guard in Ruthin jail was mysteriously disappeared.
Oh.
Mysteriously disappeared. Nobody knows where he went. But he wasn't very well liked.
If I'm right on saying, to the left, there's two cells with baths in, isn't there? Or two cells.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
I know. I know exactly the spot that was taken, and we had where the picture was taken, where the people are lined up. We had some amazing interaction there as well.
It's really funny because on when I did Phantasmic, I did a spirit box session in there, and it's under the Phantasmic Paranormal YouTube channel. It's probably is the only video that I did, because back in, I can't remember when we went. I think it was 2017. I wasn't very up on the whole of getting things out onto YouTube and things like that. But if you listen to it and you actually listen to the spirit box, I've actually listened to it in such detail that I've actually had to go over and say, did I hear that? And repeat them, because I'm asking a question. I'm saying, can you get the temperature down to 14? And you hear as clear as day a man's voice go 14. And then it hit 14 degrees. Then you hear, I said, can you, oh no, my camera wouldn't flash. The torch, there was something wrong with my torch. And I said, oh, what's wrong with my torch? And then you hear a man say, because of me. And then there was another one, the camera wouldn't flash. And I said, oh, there's something wrong with my camera. And I'm just talking away. And then you hear another man say, broken. And I was like, it's not broken. And then we were upstairs where that picture was taken. And I held up a torch on the actual seated area. And there was 13 people with us. And I said, can you tell me what I've got in my hand? And out of nowhere, this man shouted torch. And then I heard keys jangling. And everybody just stood there and went, oh my God. And then I picked up a cigarette and I said, can you tell me what this is? And this guy shouted smoke. And it's like unbelievable, some of the things. But I heard both female and male voices within the dark cell that's located downstairs.
Even as well on the outskirts of the jail as well. There's a footbridge there as well. That was quite busy and interactive in and around the outside of the building as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the only living Pentonville prison that's going still to this day. And obviously they've updated it and they've kept it, but the roads from the outside would have been to carry the prisoners on the inside. So that's what they would have done. But they house both male and female prisoners in that prison.
That's mad.
But it's brilliant. It's an amazing place.
Well, thanks for joining us, Matt. We're going to have thank you for coming on. I know you got your editing that you need to get back to. So it's much appreciated.
Before you go,
Matt,
have you been to Corwin and the Circle up in Corwin?
No, never ventured up to Corwin at all. No.
When you go to Corwin, where there's a place that gets investigated on the right-hand side in the high street.
Okay.
If you go up, there's a little hill on the left. You go up there and you go to a witch's circle. try there and see what the energies are like, young man. So there's one for you.
All right. Yep. I'll definitely venture up that way.
Excellent.
I need to venture up that way as well.
The energies in Corwin are just mind blowing. You know, back to the Druid days as well. It's just, it's full. It's surreal, because even walking up to that circle, I got told to protect. I said the Lord's Prayer. I was with Kelly and Phil, and the cameraman Phil and Kelly, and you can actually see, after I put protection up around us, just to look after ourselves. You can see the photographs. You can see the dome all the way around us, even as we're on top of the circle as well. I'm stood outside the circle, and you can totally see just somebody totally different transfigurating through my face as well. It was just mind blowing. So have a little look at Corwin as well. And there's either a prison and a churchyard there as well prior to that. And the energies there are mind blowing. Kelly couldn't actually go into the cemetery. She could not step a foot in the cemetery because of this spirit energy.
Wow.
Okay. Well, thanks, Matt. You take care of yourself.
Cheers,
and we'll have to get you and the team on one of the other shows at some point. Just give me a shout and let me know when you guys are available. Thanks again. Take care.
I'll bring Annie with me as well.
Wicked.
Awesome.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
See you later. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, he's such a nice man.
Hello.
Right, I'm going.
Well, and just on cue, Gemma didn't know Rachel was coming on, but Gemma put this comment on, and I knew Rachel was coming on in any second. And she put, Gary, you got that amazing motion picture on Rachel's phone of Rachel and Nikki and I on the stairs in the Swan in York. Someone was stood moving with us. And Gemma put that on, and we were saying bye to Matt, but I knew I was bringing Rachel on straight after, so that was quite funny.
And that's
So tell us a bit more about that then, Rach.
the Black Swan.
Yeah, it was a good one, the Black Swan. So a few of us stopped over. We had 3 rooms, and we raided Gary's room for chocolate and his biscuits, and we decided to stand on the stairs, and he was taking loads of photos. And with them being live photos, you can hold them, and everything moves, and you can hear sounds, and you just see this mist cover Gemma completely, and then vanish the next second. It was so weird. Good catch that, but Gary sent something as well at the same time, didn't you?
Certainly did. And you all had the same pajamas on, but I'm not going into that.
Matching pajamas.
Matching pajamas on a Paranormal Investigation.
Yeah, we'll have to get you some next time.
No problem. No, but we couldn't really sleep that night, could we? There was that much going on. I think the Dick Turpin room, I think our Linda stayed there as well, and that was quite interesting. 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I was just fixated on one space in that room, and towards the end of the night, when I was really starting to taper off, just got this mist, and the energy was just unbelievable in there.
You've done that place a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, and a very, very a dominating male energy in the corner in the bar. I felt it was more like what's the name of because it's not too far from Hull, is it, York? It's not too far to the port where they do the what's the word? The Bow Street Gap, the bashes and that type of scenario. If you drank the King's Shilling, people in the bar would drink to the bottom of the pint, not knowing there was a coin in. As soon as it touched the lips, you served the crown, you served the king. And this fella had come over, bash it on the back of the head, bang, and the next thing you'd wake up and this chap would be off at sea. So that's what I picked up as well. And he was a very, very challenging energy. And he played games for about, if I remember right, it was about 5 or 6 months. He played games with a lot of the team, didn't he?
Yeah, he followed a few home. I know the first time we went there.
Nice.
I think he followed Angela home, and Angela was having some issues because I think she went to Scarborough a few weeks after, and it followed her to Scarborough too, and it took her a few weeks to get rid of him. We never saw Angela after that, which was weird.
Very, very, very. It was a testing energy as well, and there was an energy behind the bar and the old kitchen area as well. I felt like went onto the streets, and it had been added onto, hadn't it, the kitchen area of the Black Swan. And there was quite a lot. We were picking up on a lot of things going on. I think it was either in the cellar as well, wasn't it?
The cellar was locked the first time we went. The weirdest thing that happened was in the big meeting room upstairs. Everybody had gone down into the bar area. You were in Turpin, and I was doing the planchette with a couple of guests in the main room. And we heard, it's all wooden paneling. We heard someone really hard knocking on this paneling. And Nikki came running upstairs saying, you know, what are you doing? What's all this banging about? And I said, oh, it's Gary's next door, making a load of noise in the room. And you were downstairs, you'd gone. So I completely blamed you for that, but it was really weird. Somebody's banging on this paneling. So weird. Yeah, you got full blame for that. If anything weird happens, I just blame you.
I know. It usually happens, doesn't it? But York, as well as a city, it's just amazing even to have a walk around in the streets and its times, isn't it?
Oh, I've got a bit of lag here.
Oh, Matt's just commented and said, forgot to say the photo I sent you was also taken on an iPhone. That's interesting.
Some of the best evidence I've ever caught has been on an iPhone. When we did Drakelow, we went with Wednesbury, and we didn't really take any cameras or anything. I was just taking loads of photos, and when I played them all back, I could hear.
When was that?
It was one of. I think it was just before lockdown.
November.
We were there.
No, I'm sure it was January.
January.
Was it January?
We was there before lockdown.
Yeah, we were probably there at the same time.
Well, no, I said before. I'm sure we've met. I'm sure I've seen you before. So I probably have.
Yeah, we went off into the quarters, didn't we? We went off into the officers' rooms, didn't we, Rach?
Yeah, that's where I got some. In fact, I don't know if I can play them on my phone actually, because I've still got them. Let me put my wine down. It's Friday night and go wild. Let's see if I can play them.
Like I said to you, but Joe, we've lost Joe, but that's unfortunately her Wi-Fi. She was lagging, so she's gone. Hi, Stephen from Pun TV. Very nice of you to join us. It's much appreciated. This is a very impromptu live. We didn't plan it. We just decided to go live, and that was it.
I was bullied into joining.
And Rachel was bullied into joining by me. Whilst the others were talking, I bullied her via Messenger. I can't call it bullying. We did a show on bullying the other week.
I was coerced.
Gentle persuasion, I like to call it.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, I've found one. Let me see where the microphone is on this laptop. Where could it be? Let's see if you can hear this. Can you hear that at all? Where's the microphone in this laptop? It's new. I'm still getting used to it. Let's try it again. So you see, it's just a normal photo. And when it plays, it says we stand. And then we caught another one. I was only with Linda at this point, and Linda had gone around the corner. And there's another one. Where's it gone? It's in there somewhere, and it says, let's whisper really clearly, really loudly in the microphone. Let's whisper. It's brilliant.
Also, as well, as we were in that room round by the bedded area of that location, there was stuff going on to the right-hand side, wasn't there? Because we put equipment up on the right-hand side, wasn't it? And it was just like they were virtually watching us.
Those rooms were really weird, those rooms. As soon as we walked in, we put in a couple of spirit boxes, and straight away, one of them came through and said, it's Gary. It's Gary, came through straight away.
He's come through before when we've been together. His name's bloody come through, old Gary. He gets everywhere, doesn't he? It's like Gary feels. It's a nightmare.
We wouldn't have him any other way, though, would we?
I don't know. I'm joking. I've done nothing. It's funny because Joe said, "Should we just do it?" She'd just done a live, and she said, "Shall we go live?" And I was like, "I've had a glass or two. I've had, of wine." She's like, "Oh well, come on, let's go live." I was like, all right then. She coerced me, which is how this came about this evening. So then I coerced the rest of the team and Gary. I've been coercing Gary all evening and picking on him. And then made him come on the live as well.
He lives for it. He lives for the banter, don't you, kid?
I do, and basically everything.
Troublemaker, me, Rachel.
My kind of person.
Yeah, everything we talk about as well. And what I like is where we get out and about and people that come along and join us have the experiences as well. Do you know what I mean? Because we had a few, we were in that Drakelow that night, Rach. We had a few people, didn't we? A couple of ladies with us, and
Yeah.
they were just like, use all, carry on, because we're just finding this so interesting and unbelievable at the stuff that was coming along with what we were picking up and giving. You know, it wasn't that they were dispelling it. It was just them experiencing, and they were quite, wow, this is amazing. This is better than what we expected as well, wasn't it? It wasn't just everything that was just a show. It was just, that's the way the night unfolded.
I think as well there was that heightened sense of fear because you got us lost for a good hour. You reckoned you know where you were going, but we got completely lost.
But bear in mind, I walk around with no torch, Rach, and it's 4 miles, 5 miles of tunnels.
Oh, here we go. It all comes out now. That's like me, Gary, just saying I don't use my torch either. I don't either. How do you say, where's your, I thought you got a torch. Yeah, well, where's your torch? It's in my bag. Where's your bag? In the break room. I'm a nightmare for it. Steve says, I don't think Karen will ever go live with me again, though. Stephen, I will go live with you anytime. I did an interview with him with himself and Howard and Gabriel and John the other night on Wednesday night on Pun TV at 3:00 yesterday morning. And I think it was about 2.25 hours.
Yeah.
We were chatting for on the
you got off about 6:00 in the morning, Kaz, didn't you?
I went to bed at 7:20 yesterday morning.
Oh, wow.
I know.
So,
terrible.
Anyway.
Absolutely terrible.
What would you say your best EVP is then, Rach, that you've captured?
I think my best one so far has been, it was actually a house investigation I was doing. And it's a lady that lives not too far from here. She's been having some trouble. I still need to get back in there and fix it properly. And I was just taking some photos again on live. And when I played them back, the EVP comes back and say, I didn't ask any questions. Well, I'd asked questions 10 minutes before and it had all been very quiet, playing back the voice recorder. And then I seemed to get responses through the photographs. And I don't know if I can play it. And it says, the bus hit me. Because I asked, what happened to you? How did you pass over? And he said, the bus hit me. So when I did a little bit of Googling, a gentleman had been hit by a bus just a few houses down, down the street. So that was a pretty good one. And it wasn't a zebra there,
was there? There wasn't a zebra. There wasn't a walkover part. No.
No, I got hit by a bus. I don't know if I can, but I think what is this one? And this one says, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it says "left to die."
Very quick, isn't it?
Left to die. Left to die.
Yeah.
Again, that was at the house, and I'm just generally taking just normal pictures. It's someone's living room. There's nothing fancy, just that. But I always find that an iPhone it's one of the greatest ghost hunting tools there is. You spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on equipment, and so far the iPhone's been my favourite.
Right. The only reason I don't carry on having an iPhone is that I had one actually zap after it virtually right at the end of the contract. The whole phone just lost itself. Everything went. So I refuse to have an iPhone again, basically. But I do have the iPad, which I find quite good.
Yeah, you sometimes leave it unlocked, don't you?
I certainly do, Rach, and then I get freaked. Yes.
Yeah, he's badger posts. It's my fault.
That's
That's quite funny.
Somebody's saying that there's a shadow above your head, Claire.
Yeah, I know. I just told them it's a light shade. I've already commented and replied.
Okay, no problem.
It's the light behind me, look. It's a shadow on the walls from the light.
It's like a really bad ghost.
It's a really
Do you remember also as well, Rach, the night I enjoyed Bolling Hall, and there was another hall we done up out in the middle of the country park.
Oh, Oakwell Hall.
Hall. That I enjoyed that as well. I seen a lot of characters there in spirit prior to walking around, and you know I'll always do a walk around prior to going into a building just to see the lie of the land and all that. I enjoyed Oakwell Hall.
Yeah, Oakwell. I think that's the Oakwell Hall was the first time I ever met Joe. But if you walk around the grounds, they've actually laid out witches' stones. So that's really interesting. In the past I've put a little bit of equipment out there to see what I can pick up, and it's been a bit flat. But again, with the live photos, picked up a few voices. But they've got witches' stones in the garden, which is great. But the kitchen area of that building is really spooky. It has doors locking. I remember you threw some balls down, and they were flashing and being thrown all over the place. So it's pretty good in there. But it's unfortunate that you can only investigate it until 10:30 at night. But it's not too bad. You can get boozer after, but
yeah, but we've always got there early, haven't we? About 5:30, 6:30.
Yeah, it's an early one. Yeah, it's an early one. But
I am drawn to tunnels there as well. I don't know the area, and I don't do any research, but I was drawn to a lot of tunnels underneath the park area as well. So I don't know whether there's another hall or another stately home close by.
There were some tunnels underneath because there's a crossroads there. And there used to be 8 pubs on that road. So they all used to run. The tunnels used to run underneath to each of the pubs. So it's a lot like where I just moved out, or I just moved house. And my house that I've just sold used to be owned by Sam Smith's. And underneath our house is a tunnel running to 2 other pubs in the area. And it was a common thing for Sam Smith's to build tunnels under roads to run to other pubs. So it is likely that there is a tunnel under there as well.
Used to
That's
traffic
quite
a lot.
cool, that. Guys, I'm going to have to love you and leave you.
No problem, Kaz. We used to traffic a lot.
Come on in, there she goes.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get Rachel, we're going to have to get you to come on a show and get you, now you've got your Wi-Fi and everything sorted properly, and get you and Gemma to come on and talk about the different things she's been commented about. She's been making comments. We'll have to get you both on together on, where's he gone? On one of Gary's shows.
Yep, up for that. I will try and get rid of the children for an evening.
She can talk all for many an hour as well.
Do you
remember in Oakwell as well? We had the full apparition in the corner.
I might not have been with you at that time.
Yeah, we had the SLS camera, and we had like a child holding the baby.
Yeah, with the SLS. Yeah, because it was near the chair. There was a high back chair, and there was something cowering by the side of the chair. Is that the one?
That's the one. Yeah, that was a very powerful night.
Right. Yeah, we've done so many together. I've lost track.
I know, but again, things always bring us all together, doesn't it? The whole team and that.
And what's nice is that without these investigations, I never would have met some of the incredible people that I've met. So even though you drive me crazy and send me the weirdest videos at times, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour to meet you. And you can tell I've had a drink, so my laptop's dying, so I'm going to go before I start getting completely mushy. And I will join you at some point next week.
Certainly look forward to it. Again, thanks for having us along tonight, Joe and Karen and Matt as well. Been nice to catch up with Rachel as well. I didn't say that, but yeah, okay.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Keep On Chatting platform as well. Stay safe, folks, and we'll catch up with you soon. And have a great weekend.